Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Immigration Live Q&A. I'm your host, Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-immigration officer, and former high school teacher. And this is our weekly venture that we have every Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm coming to you live from my home office in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, reaching the globe, which is so cool. And on that note, make sure you post where you're tuning in from. We can give you all a shout out. So there's been lots going on. We've been heavily invested in the Ukraine crisis and doing everything that we can as a firm to help. I think you guys have seen all the resources, things that we've pushed out there. Stay tuned. There's going to be a brand new playlist on our YouTube channel where people can access directly our Canada-Ukraine application for emergency travel, that application that 20,000 people have already applied for. We are going to be making that freely available. Not that it's not already, but we're going to pull it outside of our wall, our Canadian Immigration Institute wall, and we are going to be releasing it as a series of videos in our playlist right here on the Canadian Immigration Institute. So stay tuned for that. It'll make it easier to share and to get into the hands of as many people as possible. We're slowly starting to learn things about what the back end looks like to that application. So I'm going to be releasing some new lessons that talk about what to expect, including getting your passport request, how you're actually going to get it to the visa application center. Obviously, Poland is driving the ship on that front, but stay tuned for that. There'll be a lot more information on there. And speculation, right? When will the next FSW or CEC or any express entry round of invitation happen? When will it happen? Well, we're going to speculate a little bit about that today as well. So welcome to everybody that's tuned in. And tomorrow I have to circle back with Alicia. We have our live Q&A with Alicia Thursdays at 11 a.m. And I'm going to see if Igor might be able to run that show because I am traveling down to Great Falls, Montana tomorrow to get my mother who's returning from Arizona. So she spent a couple months down there. And so I'll be driving down there and I will be on the road. And it's not easy to do a live stream when you are traveling in a vehicle across the open plains of Montana. So we'll see that tomorrow's might need to be rescheduled. I'll be gone Thursday and Friday, but rest assured there will be lots of content for you guys to consume. Okay, let's give a few shout outs here. And there, Ramil's starting us off with a big bang on Facebook. Shout out everyone. Yes, indeed. And Diane, hey, it's good to see you, Diane. Right now I have one of the, a brand new, I want to share this with you guys. I actually have right here our spousal sponsorship course that's going right now, March 28th to April the 1st. And Diane was one of my my attendees for the Express Entry course. And so hello, Diane, it's great to see you here. But that course is going on right now, and I've got an amazing group of people in there. There's a mix of individual applicants. There's a mix of immigration consultants, and it's a really, really good group. They ask great questions. Sometimes I get stumped and then I have to take it back and then come back the next lesson, but I absolutely love it. And I love your questions, because if I don't know something and you ask me a question, I'm like, they stumped me. I'm not going to let them do that again. So then I'll go back and I'll read and just make sure that I understand the answer. And then I'm better equipped each time I get on here to do a live Q&A. And I'll be honest, the secret to the success of my DIY courses and the master classes is as much what I learn from you guys as it is from me. Because every time I have a group that comes through, every time I have a group of new students, I learn something from them through the questions that they ask and through the challenges that they experience. And it's just, every time it just gets better and better and better. And that's the world of Express Entry, right? I've been doing that for the master classes for a little over a year. But before that, I had the course. It was probably 4 years, I think, that I marketed the course, and I kept improving it based on the responses that I got. So amazing. And I could not be happy doing anything else. Okay, Divine, good to see you. Abu Dhabi, great to have you with us here. And Diane says, did you end up getting the charcuterie board we sent you? Absolutely, I did. It was wonderful. It was so kind. And thank you so much. I'm sorry that I didn't respond. I thought we had reached out and expressed appreciation, but that's okay. Regardless, you're getting a big shout out, and that was very, very generous and very kind. Thank you so much, Diane. And Diane is an immigration consultant and one of the good ones. So thank you, Diane. All right, let's see what else we have here. Sean Roshan says, "Hey Mark, hope you're doing well." I'm doing great, Sean. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning to you, Ami. A faithful follower. I see you almost every live videos. I don't know if you've ever missed. Have you, my friend? I don't know if you've ever missed. Okay. And then we've got a shout out from, and do you know what? Wojciech, I am always mispronouncing your name. So another faithful alumnus of the Canadian Immigration Institute. Great to see you as well. Himanshu back again. And Joe down in Arizona. Yes, Joe. And good luck on your new job. Good luck on that, my friend. I think that's very, very cool. So keep me posted how it unfolds. Fayaz is in Brampton. Oh, got your PR portal yesterday. Excellent. That's great. Now, I'm assuming when you say PR portal, it's your eCoper and you're able to finalize your permanent residence. I think that's probably what you mean, Fayaz. That's awesome. Raj, Toronto again, welcome back. We've got Hardy is down in Chicago. Yeah, all these familiar faces. Ramil's tuning in from Malaysia. Good to see you again, Ramil. And Diane, you've helped me so much. I've been able to help so many people since taking your course. 30 plus landings so far. Yay, you're the best. That is fantastic. That is so cool, Diane. I'm so happy for you. Wonderful. Okay, then we've got Wanjiku is in Nairobi, Kenya, in the house. Welcome. And we've got a godson here, Alaga, and he's saying hello. And Callum says, hey, everyone, tuning in from Scotland. Fingers crossed for only another week. Yes, indeed. Fingers crossed. Making your way here, Callum. That's fantastic. Really excited. Jazz Paul, good job. Thank you, Jazz. And, oh, great. Agnes is tuning in from Zambia. Thank you for coming. And I know it's the timing for these lives is all over the map. So people are listening at all different times. Eros, hello. Eros is in the house. And yes, I did get your email. And Eros, our new sponsors that are going to be coming to join our the Canadian Immigration Institute's video series. Uros and his company, Journey Business Plans, are going to be joining us, and we're just working out the details right now. And yes, I did get your email, and we're going to get it set up, but you can see right here, I'm giving you a shout out. So great to have you connecting in on LinkedIn. I love this. YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, we're hitting everywhere, and we're getting a ton of reach. So yes, Euros, I'm excited to connect with you guys, and very, very grateful to have you sponsor the podcast and the YouTube channel. And so stay tuned, you guys. We're going to have more information on Journey Business Plans, who are an amazing company that does a lot of good helping people who need business plans developed properly to facilitate and really strengthen their immigration applications depending upon the program that they're going through. So big shout out to you, Euros. Okay, Armin, greetings from Montreal. Thanks for joining there. And those of you who are posting your questions, hang on just for a little bit and we will get to those questions for sure. Let's just see here. We've got, oh, wow, Mark and Jerobi, Simpson, Northwest Territories. Welcome, you guys. That's great. The Gillanders are way, way up north, and hopefully things are starting to warm up for you guys up there. Shout out Nisha from Toronto. Thanks for connecting in. And let's see here. Oh, Wojciech says, course was really good as it helped to answer some of our questions and saved us a lot of time. That's really what it's all about, isn't it? The course is designed to not have you spend thousands of hours, hopefully getting information that you can rely upon, spread all across the internet. It's all in one place, easy, on demand, on your time. And then the master classes are all there to answer all the questions that you have. Okay. Nicola, hello to you. We've got Budika. Great to have you here, Richmond Hill. We've got a great group that are tuning in here. This is a wonderful group. All right, we've done quite a bit of shout outs now. So if I skip through you, bear with me. Rima's over in India. And we've got, let's see, Tarun is a huge shout out to you as well. George says hello. And we've got JMC. Hello, Mark. Greetings from a Guatemalan in Dubai. Express Entry Course alumni as well. Yes, there's lots of you. This is so cool. And Agnes, you're here too. Big shout out to you. All right, this is wonderful. And Prakash says, hey, Mark, your lives help so many people around the world, and that's why I created it. Another alumnus, George. Great to have you. George Cosma is in the house as well. And SJ is in Toronto. Thanks for connecting in, SJ. And and then Euros has got a little response. Thanks so much for your kind words, Mark. It's a pleasure working with you as always. We'll talk soon. Absolutely, Euros. Okay, fantastic. Thanks for jumping on here. Okay, and all right, let's jump into some questions, shall we? Let's not waste any time. I want this one to be all about answering your questions. So Wojciech says, thanks, Mark, for all answers and your time. It looks like we are on the last straight post-medicals in biometrics. Also, it looks like my partner will get a job as an RN, so we are nearly there. There's some applause for you, my friend. That is awesome. So cool. I love watching people's their journeys evolve. I love watching people have an ability to realize that dream of becoming a Canadian permanent resident. And I'm so proud of my country. I'm so proud of the things that we're doing. Yes, there's some issues, absolutely, as always, but no one can fault the desire to help. I don't think anyone can fault that. So, all right, George is over in India. Thanks for connecting in. And Ami says, never missed, never will. Every live is full of new information and knowledge. That's totally right, Ami, because basically when we're going through this process, people are tuning in who've never watched the live. People are tuning in that have been watching it religiously for years. And there's always something new with immigration. And there's always new questions. And that's what makes it so dynamic and so engaging for me and so challenging too. Because I'm live here. There's no hiding this. If I don't know the answer, well, then I don't know the answer. But the difference between maybe me and some others, I don't pretend to know everything. But I can tell you that if there's a question asked, I know where to find the answer. And that's what I'm really, really instilling in the minds and in the hearts of all of the lawyers that work within healthy immigration law. And I think many of you know that Chanel is a new lawyer that's joined our firm. Brilliant, great lawyer. She's going to be joining us back again. She was on a European trip to see her family and things, so she hasn't been on for a while, but she's going to join me back. And she may not have all the answers right at the start, but my goodness, that girl, she works hard. And if she doesn't know, she reaches out to Alicia and I. She does the research and she knows where to find it. So, and there's things that come across my plate that I don't have as much experience with. And that's why I leverage off of Alicia or off of Chanel. And so that's the benefits of a team, and our team is growing. So if you know of any immigration lawyers who are looking for an opportunity, our doors are always open. So, all right, Taryn, hello, good to see you. All right, let's see here. let's dive in and let's start answering questions like I said here. So this is a perfect one. So Prakash, I'm going to start right with you. So he says, hey, Mark, please clear about public policy 2020 for caregiver. What the exact meaning? Prakash, that is something that I don't have any experience with the caregiver program at all. The policy that you're referring to, I would need more direct, a more direct question, because I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. There was in 2020, there was the Guardian Angels program for refugee claimants in Montreal, where they transitioned and allowed them to work in extended care facilities. There's the new, well, I say new caregiver program that is really ugly, I'll be honest, where individuals have to wait years, a year or more. Well, now I don't even know if one's been finalized since they revamped the caregiver program. We've been in lots of meetings with government. I've not filed one myself, mostly for the simple reason that employers have to wait for over a year or longer, and many of these are taking an eternity. So as far as what the exact meaning, well, that's something I need to understand which policy you're referring to. There's been so much going on, some pandemic focused, some that are just a natural course of the evolution of pilot programs becoming permanent programs. So that's one we'll have to leave there. Okay, Isla says, hey, Mark, are you allowed to work 2 to 3 jobs on a postgrad work permit? What impact would that have on your PR application? Great question. You can work as many jobs as you want to work. And the impact on PR is, if you're going through the Canadian Experience class, you can accumulate that 1 year minimum of eligibility working in a number of jobs. The only issue is when you're trying to isolate a knock code and you need to have the work experience that you're combining. It doesn't need to be necessarily in the same knock code, but it needs to be at a skill level B, A, or O. And so it needs to be at a B, a skilled position or higher, for you to, consolidate it all. And Isla, I'll tell you that in our Express Entry DIY course, we actually have some tools and resources to help you calculate your hours of work for the purposes of CEC and FSW. And, to claim half-time of that experience, you need at least 15 hours a week, and full-time is 30 hours. Okay. David says, is this a bad year to apply to PR for CEC? David, it's never a bad year. So remember, there's no cost to submitting a profile if you're doing it on your own. And even if it expires, it doesn't make a difference. Ultimately, if you're in Canada and you are going through the CEC program, you never know what's going to happen. You could be extended a notification of interest from Ontario. Like I'm seeing a lot of my clients. I'm starting to do a lot of reviews, and I've got another, and boy, review is totally the wrong answer, the wrong way of defining it. When I look at it, so there's other practitioners out there that offer review services, and it is not a review. It is so much more than that. It is like a concierge level teaching, education, full support, comprehensive collaboration with our clients all the way through to submission of the application. And we spend however many hours we need to make sure that everything is fully reviewed, and we do it together with you. So it's not a case of, here, take my application, review it, and then send me back a summary. I used to do that years and years ago, but this just does not touch that. It is so far comprehensive because you're working directly with the immigration lawyer. There's no one in between. And when you don't know what to do something, we teach you not only what to do in it, but why the question is asked in the first place, so that the answers you're putting in there are going to give you the really, really best chance of getting it approved. So no year is a bad year to submit your profile. No year. Okay. Hardy says, how are the processing rates going? Do you recommend to create an account now, or wait until it's confirmed the FSW will come back? Create it now. There is no harm. Let's say they do one in April. April, spring. April showers bring May flowers. Maybe an ITA will magically appear in April, and you'll put your application together and you will file in May. Maybe that's the case. Maybe. But April is spring. May is spring. June is summer. So what has the minister said? The minister said they expect to revive the draws in the spring. Is the minister telling the truth? I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt. You guys, you think on that. All right. Let's keep moving on. Yash says, I've got 1 year experience in NOC AB combined. Can that be counted for CEC experience? Yeah, you can. Absolutely. There's no problem with that. Yeah, it can be combined AB. When you're combining work experience for CEC, the ultimate question is just if your primary NOC that you're applying under, and you choose one, the one in most cases that you have the majority of the work experience in. If it's an A, then the language level that you have to hit is different than a B. So it's a CLB 7 instead of CLB 5, but probably, Ash, that's not going to be an issue for you. Okay, Mohammed, hello to you. And there is Nadia with the question, thoughts on FSW? Well, I just kind of answered that, didn't I? So I am holding out, at least for myself. And once again, I'm no better than you guys. I'm no better than Canada Visa. I'm no better than anyone else. And Canada Visa is no better than us. You know, ultimately, what we do is we speculate, because only Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada are making the decision when to do it. And based on their analytics, you know, where they think they need to be, immigration will make those decisions. But the minister said spring. So I'm going to hold out that the minister was telling the truth, and that spring is maybe April. Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh, we would have a party. Or maybe even May. Those 2 months are the spring. I go by what the minister says and I follow him. So we shall see. All right. Zipping through here. Let's see what the next question is. We've got a little bit of duplication popping in here. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah. And that's the same thing, Armin. I know you guys are all in the same boat. I'm also waiting for the minister to re-up a new public policy for the postgrad work permits. I probably am doing, I'd say, a third of my consults for people just like you, Armin, who are looking at what do they do? Their work permit's expiring, it's running out. We've talked at length about the resources that are on the Healthy Immigration Law website. And you can see here, we have links to the free course right here for the Canada-Ukraine authorizations for emergency travel. And we also have our spousal. We haven't moved this one yet, but the spousal sponsorship course, which is going on right now. And you can still, there still is time to join in and get the full benefit from it if that's what you would like. And remember, all immigration consultants, like I've talked about in the past, when it comes to the courses, like this one, the Canada-Ukraine, but Express Entry, LMIA, PR card. Let's see, where is our spousal hiding? I probably skipped past it here. There it is, right at the top. When you go into this one here, you will see that we have right here confirmation that there is, oh, it's not on here. Well, there is CPD accreditation for immigration consultants. So you get 5 hours of CPD accreditation with this. And remember, there's all the 10 plus hours of on demand, plus all of the 5 1 hour sessions of live Q&As. And those are all recorded, all available in our new community groups. So definitely check those out. But back to our site here, when you go to resources and then you go to blog, you will see, if you haven't read it, read it. Information on Ukraine here. We're putting out a ton of different things. But right here, how long can I stay in Canada after my work permit expires? This is actually a misnomer. We got to change this name. This is designed exactly for people like you, Armin, who are wondering, what options do I have? And this is a comprehensive breakdown of the options that you have, understanding what you can and can't do. And it goes through just about everything that you can imagine. And you can see all the links and the resources and reference to legislation and just a ton of stuff. This is not some fluffy blog post. This is really, really good. And Alicia put a lot of time into it. So Armin, I recommend that you do that. And if some of you are really wondering, oh, what do I do? Do not hesitate to slide over to our firm once again and click on Speak to a Lawyer and book a consult right away. We're here to help. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Kaiser says, "Hiya, Mark. Being an avid watcher, thank you so much for your content. Want to let you know that I finally got my passport request on Monday, AOR November 2020. Oh, celebration. We've got pauses for Kaiser. I need to do something better than this. You watch the next live Q&A. We're going to have something that's even better to celebrate these amazing things that are happening to people. And it means a lot, Kaiser, that you jump on and post that comment, because I love to hear the success stories. We've been through a lot, haven't we, you guys? We've been through a lot these last 2 years because of the pandemic. And while people have suffered, and we need some good news, don't we? We need to celebrate our successes. We need to shout to the world our wins, because it's high time we start, well, just being happy, I guess is the best way to describe it. Okay, Narpat says, hi, Mark, how are you? Me and my wife is going to Montreal on study and open work permit in August 2022. I do have a PNP, ONIP, should be OINP, Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program approval, and AOR February 2022. My question is, does my PR processing will be impacted as I have ONIP EE process and I'm going to Montreal? Narpat, this is something that you absolutely do need to be concerned about. And but I can't give you any specific advice right now without getting a whole lot more detail about what your plans are, and how it all fits together in the long term, because you must demonstrate an intention to reside in Ontario. And when you have a job, a study, and work, it can complicate things when you're in Quebec. So take that into consideration. And I highly recommend, Norpad, that you book a consult so that we can take a look and just make sure that, I'm giving you the advice that you need. And it's just not possible here in this kind of a quick little information session. You need legal advice, my friend. So head on over to our firm right here, click on speak to a lawyer, and it does not have to be me if you are not able to get a consultation time. Alicia she's brilliant. She's great. Chanel is awesome. And you can see Chanel's is basically 157, where Alicia and I are 315. So, she's a little bit more junior to us, but she is, she has the ability to deal with everything that comes your way, because we are supporting her, and she's super smart and keen. Okay, let's move on now. Fate says, will the TR to PR backlog end by 2023? It should, yes. Because if we look at their goal is that, and here, you know what, maybe it helps to just move back to the 2022 immigration levels plan. And I want to show you guys something so that you understand. There's a lot of misunderstanding. I did the video. You can go back and you can search for this within the YouTube channel. The previous videos that I've done. I did one in detail breaking this down. But what I want to show you is right here. So these are the plans, what they expect for 2022 to 2024. They always tend to push projections out 3 years so people have an idea of what immigration is looking at in terms of landings. So the federal high skill right here, these are your express entry applications, your FSW, your CEC, your federal skilled trade, and then the federal economic public policies. This is the TR to PR pathway. So if you look at this, we can probably just go up a little bit so you can see. So for 2022, their projection is to land 40,000. So this is people, like generally speaking, most people are in Canada. So it's not going to take long to land them. Not like if it was a federal skilled worker where people have to wrap up their affairs, then ultimately move to Canada and complete that landing process, which can take up to a year or more in the best of circumstances. But you can see here, their target is about 40,000. Well, in 2023, you can see here that they are still expecting to land 32,000. That's because they're going to be approving applications at the end of 2022, right at the very end. And then people will be finalizing and actually completing their landing in 2023. So that's the projection. And then you can see for 2024, there isn't any really allocation because they expect fully to have everybody landed in 2023. So there you go, Fate. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay, let's see what else we have here. And if I'm missing comments and questions, I think the feed might, depending on where you're listening from, if it's YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, sometimes the comments don't always get posted. And so forgive me if I'm not pulling up your question. I am doing the very, very best that I can. Okay. So SJ says, hey, Mark, my postgrad work permit extension application is in process and I received an LMIA yesterday. Can I raise a web form with LMIA and other required documents? Well, probably not is the answer. So when you say your postgrad work permit extension application, you can't extend a postgrad work permit. So I'm wondering if you mean you've provisionally filed an extension and maybe indicated that an LMIA was coming. So that's a little bit different. And if that is the case and you filed for an LMIA based work permit, but you didn't have the LMIA yet, which is I do all the time for clients, then yes, you would just send the web form with the updated LMIA and the other required documents. But in terms of just filing a postgrad work permit extension, I'm not quite sure under what basis. Only the 18-month pilot that issued a new postgrad work permit allows you to do that, or an individual who has acknowledgement of receipt on a PR application, then they can transition to a bridging open work permit. But in this situation, obviously, if you've filed one of those, what I call kind of a frivolous applications where you don't really have a chance at getting it to succeed, well, in that case too, you can definitely upload the LMIA and see if you can save that work permit from getting refused, and you need to do it as soon as possible. So short answer is yes. If you've filed a work permit application that is deficient and is doomed for failure without the LMIA, absolutely you're gonna raise it. But what did you put in your application form? And this is the biggest question I have for people. When you're answering the questions to get the work permit, actually the application to appear, you would have had to say that yes, you had an LMIA or something like that. And my concern is always misrepresentation when people are filing applications. So yeah, so SJ, that's typically what you do, but it's a tough one. You'd need to probably reconnect with us, book a consult for us to sort out if there's any nuances or anything else that you need to be aware of. But clearly there's no harm in sending the LMIA and the other supporting documents via web form. There's no harm in doing that, but whether or not they'll accept it and allow it to be saved, it depends on what you submitted in the beginning. Okay. Nisha says, I'm 35 waiting for CEC. Will my age affect my, I think, CRS score? Should I wait for CEC or PNP? You're going to pursue every option that you can, Nisha. Every birthday, you're going to lose 5 points until you hit 40. And then you're going to start dropping 10 points. At a minimum, you're going to be losing 5 for every birthday. So you want to move forward as quickly as we can. Okay, there is a super here. Let's get the super to Kevin Awesome. Okay, he says, hi, Mark, great fan of your channel. I wish more immigration lawyers used video to help more people. How would you go about convincing a lawyer to prioritize video content? I won't, Kevin. I won't. Lawyers will do what they do, and consultants will do what they do. And at the end of the day, if I take over the world and dominate the whole space doing this kind of work where people can follow and trust what I'm doing, then great. All the better for me. All this time, all these years of giving free advice and helping people, my fruit plantation is finally starting to grow. The fruit trees are starting to blossom, and now I'm finally getting the benefit. Whereas all those other lawyers and consultants who never did these kinds of things, they were just grinding away, making money, while I was giving stuff away for free. And my hope is that through all that effort of giving, that it will come back to me and my firm, and that we will be able to position ourselves because of the sacrifices we made in the early days. And trust me, there's been times for years where I spent over 4 hours a day just offering free help to people, building Facebook groups, offering videos, doing a whole bunch of things. So yeah, so take that. So I'm not, any lawyer, and I'm actually looking at teaching other lawyers how to do this and other consultants, following the model that I'm doing. I am looking at creating courses specifically targeted to practitioners, but at this stage, I'm still building my own. And so I'm learning the ropes, and I'm spending an enormous amount of time figuring systems and processes out to really optimize all of this. So, but that's a great question, Kevin. Thank you. Okay, let's see who's next here. We're going to jump into some more. Let's see here. So we've got Maria, who's watching from Ecuador. Wonderful. My brother-in-law served his mission for our church in Ecuador. I'm an FSW Outlander applicant, AOR January 2021. I quit my job in November. Oh, should I notify Ircc through a web form? Well, you can. And the reason that I indicate in those circumstances that you might want to do that is because you probably, when you filed your application, were probably working for that employer. So when you completed the application, you indicated that this was your current or your present employment. So it doesn't hurt to notify via web form. It doesn't. Okay, we got another super that popped in here, and let's hit this one. So Eric says, in the employer reference letter, is it okay to mention only the latest salary, even though I got several pay raises? Yes, Eric. I don't have a problem with that at all. No, I don't have a problem with that. And in fact, while you're working for employers, if you're on an LMIA-based work permit, the expectation is that you're going to get regular cost of living increases. And so that's not unusual at all. So no, I don't have any problem with using the last of the salary. Sometimes if there are different positions that you've had, like you physically move from one position to another, then in those instances, I will break down if there's details that are different for each position. But if you're working in the same position and it's just regular, increases because of time worked for the company or whatever, then I don't worry about that. Yeah, I don't. Okay. All right, let's jump back to another question here. You guys have got lots of really good questions today. Really, really good. And I love the variety here of people connecting in across all channels. I haven't found a Twitter one yet, but yes, this is awesome. Okay, let's jump down here as I'm zipping through all of these. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, let's try Saga here. It says, hello, sir. My name is Sagareshwar. I've done secondary school certificate in India 14 years ago. Please tell me which way I come to Canada. So that's where I do. Let's see if I can find it. This one. I ring that bell and then I say, my friend, slide over here and book a consultation, and we can actually break down all of the information that you need. And there's links below in the descriptions of these videos where you can click to book a consultation with our law firm website. All right. Okay, next up here, let's see. Okay, so Prakash, I'm just gonna kind of close this loop off. I don't have a lot of experience with this. This home child care provider, home support worker class is a nightmare. It's not moving forward. It's going very, very slow. I haven't heard of anyone that's actually had their applications finalized. And so all I can say in terms of this new caregiver public policy is just, that it is very dysfunctional, and I don't have a lot of experience with that. Okay, let's see here. Nishant says, how are you? AOR May 30th, remedicals passed, ADR submitted February the 2nd. Everything passed except security. No movement after 14th of February when remeds passed. Montreal VO, please suggest. Nothing I can suggest, Nishant. Your application is in the queue like everybody else. And please, you guys, throw the processing times out the door. They are all over the map. And one thing I do know is that you guys are light years ahead of those who've been sitting without even getting an ITA. And it really sucks. It really does, having to wait. And my heart goes out to you and all of those whose lives have been kind of stalled out because of these processing times. But at this stage, there's nothing that you can do to push it forward, to make it go faster. People are contacting their members of parliament and trying to get them to move forward. If you told me, Nishant, that your AOR was May 30th, 2019, then I would consider mandamus or a mandamus application, pushing Express Ircc basically to take some action on your file. But if you've actually had steps taken and the last step was February the 14th of this year, you're moving forward and there's nothing more that can be done. You just need to continue being patient and waiting. And that's just the reality. Okay. And this is a good question. Jim C here says, hey, Mark, how does ONP work for French speakers? Might their SCRS go up now that FSW draws are not happening? Is an EE profile needed to get the ITA? Thanks in advance. So when it comes to the ONP and the French speaker, that's how they track you down. So if it's under the human capital priority stream, it's because of your French language ability that you get a notification of interest. Now they determine what band of CRS that they're going to pull people from. But yeah, absolutely, you're going to submit a profile in the express entry process. Okay, Steel Cycling says, hey, Mark, such a long time between passport request and COPR. Is IRCC reviewing the documents again a month? Yep. Don't be surprised, you guys, if it's a month or longer that you see any movement. This is so common. And like I said, they've got all of these new pressures that the cabinet, our Liberal government, is putting on them with policies and things like that. And so at the end of the day, it's just super frustrating for many people, but there's not much that can be done about it. Okay, and I'll just pull up Prakash's one last time. I'm not sure if you're just spamming here, Prakash, or what, but I think the best thing you can do is to actually book a consultation. And I would book it with Alicia, and she can help you to navigate that process. Okay. All right. Moving on here. Let's see what else we have. So we got another super that's come in. We'll pull that one up. So this one is from Ami, and Ami says, okay, FSW, AOR, September 19th, 2020. Filed for updated PCC today. Upfront meds tomorrow. PCC will take 3 weeks. Shall I wait or send remeds, proof of funds, and schedule now, then PCC later? BG plus eligibility check in progress. I would wait and put them all together. When you have bits and pieces, then sometimes it can be kind of disjointed. So I would wait and then just submit them all together. Ultimately, if things progress then hey, that's good regardless. But I think it would be easier for them to navigate if you bundled them all together and submitted them all together in one shot. Okay. All right, let's jump to somebody else here. Andy, great to see you. Greetings from Ottawa. I see here, Andy, you're tuning in on YouTube. Fantastic. I appreciate the shout outs that you give and the love that you give over on LinkedIn, Andy. So shout out to you. Thank you, my friend. Okay, let's keep zipping through this here. Let's see what is next on our list. And yeah, Kaiser says, thanks so much for what you do, Mark. It's much more appreciated than you think. Hey, if that gives me all of the positive vibes that I could have in the world. And right now, people that book consults and people that retain our services, I always ask them to go over to Google and leave a positive review on our Healthy Immigration Law Google process. And we only just launched that. I guess it's been about a year. Maybe it's not. I can't remember how long it's been. Maybe it's less than a year. Because we're a virtual firm, it was not easy to get Google to actually have a designated location for us. And now we're able to do a region. And now we're able to actually get people to, to be able to post those reviews. So we're very proud of the reviews. And if you wonder what it's like working with our firm and retaining us to help you, you can go over to Google, search Healthy Immigration Law, and then look at the reviews. So there's, I'm very grateful for the kind reviews that people give. And at the end of the day, one of the purposes of our firm is to do immigration in a caring way where we actually care about our clients. And, sometimes it doesn't always work out. Sometimes through, because of immigration and the discretion of officers, sometimes applications do get rejected. But I can tell you, we do everything in our power to minimize that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we've got a tricky one, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to be clicking on that little bell. I traveled on a passport with an incorrect date of birth in the past, but I now have a new passport with the correct date of birth. Boy, sneeze. Is it safe not to include the past travel history in my application? No, you're not going to do that. You are absolutely going to include everything. You are going to include it. You never want to exclude stuff, and you need to sort it out. You need to explain and just clarify why it was that your birth date changed. But this is one, I ring the bell, book a consult. And I guess I should click down, right? Okay. Okay, let's see what else here. Okay, so we've got here, Zana says, hello, Mark. I called Ircc. They told me I passed eligibility security. It's left just criminal. So how long it takes to finalize? Zana, that's not something that I can answer. But Muteen says, how do you call Ircc? Can you share the contact details? Let's see if I'm not sure if he shared that with you, Muteen, but what I'll do is I will just pull up this here. I know this number very well because, because I have been dealing with it for a long time. Let's see here. Okay, let's see how this one appears here on my screen. There it is. There's the number right there. If you guys are looking to call immigration on the border, I would give people that number all the time. 1-888-242-2100. That is the IRCC line, the helpline, and it's only accessible as a toll-free in Canada. So there you go, Mutin. The IRCC contact number. Excuse me. All right, let's keep zipping through here. Okay, Govin says, is it really possible to enter Canada through the International Mobility Program? Of course it is. We get work permits for our clients all the time. I'm working on one right now through the IMP. And yes, so obviously different countries have different processing times. And if you look at India, there's priorities. And if you look at processing times in India, they're awful. They're absolutely terrible. So remember, your country might be a complete disaster, but that's not the case for everywhere. So I'll just give you a quick little view here. So work permits are work permits. So if we go temporary residence, and then we go here, work permit, we'll say from outside Canada, and then we'll choose India here. This is the gong show, but let's pull it up anyways. Processing time, wow, 54 weeks. Okay, so you guys can do the math. How many weeks are in a year? 52. So clearly they've made it not a priority. Let's go here, and let's choose United States of America. Processing times, 8 weeks, 2 months. Okay, so the short answer is yes, Govind, they are, but depending upon the country and the volumes, yeah, it's not a spectacular thing. Okay, moving through here, and yeah, it looks like we're getting lots of duplication, at least within my comments. Let's see here. What is next? I've got a ton of duplication on here. Shams says, any update on Postgrad, parent-grandparent? There isn't, Shams. I have not heard a thing about that. We ask, and there just hasn't been any real meaningful development. Okay, one thing I want to do here is I'm just going to go back and I just want to take a peek at the actual live here. And I want to see, just give me 1 second here. I want to see how many questions I'm actually missing here. Okay, I want to make sure for sure that I'm not missing any supers. Let's see. Okay, thanks for your patience, guys. I just wanted to scan through there and see how many were slipping through. Yeah, and this is a continuation of that last one. So Hitanshi says, any updates, work permit backlog? There, we have not heard a thing. Immigration they're processing according to their priorities. And yeah, I wish I could say that everything was going to be fixed, but yeah. SJ says, under 18-month pilot, I received 12 months, not full 18 months. So I demanded remaining 6 months. Okay, well, you can request it. Was your passport expiring at that time? Did you apply for the right postgrad? Yeah, so if it was the pilot, you are entitled, and I would, yeah, there's no harm in requesting that extra. I would have done it right away. I'm not sure why they didn't issue it unless your passport was expiring. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, there's a lot on my feed here of duplication, which makes it tricky. All right, let's see how we doing here. Got 10 more minutes. Okay, Alpha says, I'm graduating with a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from UK as an international student next year. What is the best option for me to move to Canada? Ring the bell and direct you right over here, my friend. Book a consult. Alicia, Chanel, this is the best place that you can get that question answered, because it's not something that I can do here in the context of this. All right. Okay. So Karen now says, I've applied for postgrad extension due to passport expiry issue. Okay. That clarifies it. Can I apply online, or is it only paper-based application as mentioned on website? Is it better to apply online? Follow the instructions. That's all I can say. It's follow the instructions. That's what you do. Okay. All right. So not the fake Batman. This is the real Batman. He says, I have active profile on Express Entry. Since my status changed, I'm applying under common law sponsorship now. Would that look bad on my application? Not at all. You're free to pursue whatever avenues you want. That's not a problem at all. They're both permanent residents. And if you're applying for PR, common law sponsorship, and remember, I have my course going on right now, and I think you can go right here to the website. There should be a link below in the description, and it will take you right to the sponsorship course. And there's still time to jump in if you want to and get caught up. And everything you need to know about filing is in there. And you can join me in the master classes tonight, tomorrow, and Friday, each 1 hour long from 5 p.m. Mountain Time to 6 p.m. All right, let's zip back down here and let's get to the next one. As I flip through all of these duplications, I think Restream, the software that I use, is thinking, oh my goodness, people are coming from everywhere here. We are overrun. So, okay. And here's the question that I responded to before, you guys. From Singapore, I heard there will be FSW draw in spring. Is this true? Well, I spoke with the minister myself, Minister Fraser. And in every meeting that he's attended, when that question has come up, I told you guys this, and people act like it's a big surprise or something. I said that they have to start the draws this year so that people actually can land and they can fill the quotas for next year. It takes people, especially FSWs, time to do that. And it takes the overseas visa offices time to process the passport requests, as everybody knows. So they have to restart them. And the minister told me that they were looking at doing it sometime in the spring. So he told me that back in January or February, probably January, I think is when I talked to him. And so then for people to post, CIC News and the other ones that, oh, now in this meeting with people, he was asked the question, he said, sometime in the spring. Well, what is spring? In Canada, it's April, maybe May, but could it be April? Like I said, we'll have a big party. We will have a big party. All right. Okay, so this is one routine that I get a lot of. I'm always trying to give, 30% of my consults relate to this and 40% relate to this. Well, there is a substantial number, enough for me to notice, people that are booking consultations. And your question here is, I am using a consultant for my Express Entry. AOR is February 2021. Can I book your services as they haven't given me my password last to my Express Entry profile? Please help. Absolutely. You can reach out, book a consult, and I can show you how to deal with that issue. I have zero respect for any consultant who, if they filed through a person's, not the rep portal, but through a person's own MyCIC, and then they've retained the password and the login information, that's actually contrary to Ircc's policies. And so I have huge issues with that consultant that you've retained, Muteen. If in fact it's not in their rep portal, because they can't share it if it's filed in their own representative portal. But if not, and they're not giving you your password, there's some things that we can do. Absolutely. So book a consult, slide over. There's a link below, and we can work through that for you. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so Misbah says, can you please tell me that when I apply under the Canadian experience class for PR, is my foreign experience from India also counted? And if it's counted, then it should be continuous and same knock. That's a good question. Once again, my Express Entry step-by-step course and masterclass, that is where we go through this in detail. That's why I created the course. And I'm just going to flip back for those who are watching. This course that we've created for Express Entry, the next one is going to be starting April 18th to the 22nd. So you can click here to reserve a spot right now to get in on this. But in the course, you'll see we cover just about everything that you could imagine about Express Entry. And it's not fluff. This is deep, deep dive. And the Q&As, the reason that I started the masterclass, because you could actually subscribe now. I'm not sure if the card's actually open. Let's see. Oh, Igor did open it up. So you can actually get access right now to all of the material. And in all honesty, I'll tell you, the benefits to doing that now is that you can start going through all of the courses. And once again, just like the spousal, CPD accreditation, five 5 hours is available for that. When you scroll down here, you'll see we have a breakdown of all the modules, all the lessons, everything that we cover. And as we're going through this course here, one of the things that we go through in detail is how points are actually calculated, how the CRS works. So step one, you have to meet the eligibility for either the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the CEC, or the Federal Skilled Trade Program to get into the pool. That's even for PNP's express entry. You have to meet eligibility under one of those programs to get into the pool. And in order to do that, you need your Canadian, at least 1 year of Canadian work experience to get into CEC. Once you're in, you guys, then you will accumulate points through the comprehensive ranking system based on both Canadian and foreign work experience. And in your case, MISBA, you can claim CRS points for up to 3 years of foreign work experience. Now, the skill transferability, extra bonus points, are a combination of things like education and foreign work experience, like language and foreign work experience, I should say, and like Canadian work experience and foreign work experience. So it's a combo, but absolutely you can. And does it need to be continuous and in the same knock? Well, actually it doesn't. It doesn't need to be. If you're going through CEC and you are eligible for the CEC program, then you can accumulate work experience in different knocks as long as it's skilled within the last 10 years towards meeting those 3 components. And this is a little understood area. And so in the course, I teach you, and you can do it on demand. Wherever you live in the world, you can watch those videos at your pace. And then the live questions, the live master classes, that's where the magic happens. That's where you can come in just like this in a small group setting, getting every question answered, and you learn and benefit from everybody else. So here, this is open season. We're talking about everything, right? All kinds of immigration. But in those master classes, it is devoted to dive deep into the specifics of that particular program, and everybody benefits. In fact, if you were asked George or Sir or any of these previous, even Diane, the reality is when you're going through, there's things that you learn from even the questions that the other people ask, things that you didn't even know. And yeah, and so within these courses that we're offering here, it's all about giving you the best experience possible, helping you to save time and get it done right the first time. Okay, let's see what else we have here. As we go through, we've got just a couple more minutes and then we're going to wrap it up. Let's see. And like I said, I apologize if I skip past your question or don't get it. Okay, let's see here. So Ruwendrani says, I'm from Sri Lanka. I've already got a job offer as a nanny from Ontario. Will I be able to apply through IMP? Okay, this is right here. I'm going to ring the bell because this is the problem with this overseas caregiver program. It's not going anywhere. Will you be able to apply through the International Mobility Program? Well, I need a whole lot more information to be able to answer that. Thank you for watching on the Canadian Immigration Institute Facebook page. I appreciate that. But understand you definitely need to book a consult for us to sort through that. Let's see what else we have here. It's so strange with my feed here today, guys, because not everything is coming through. Okay, Mohammed says, how could your firm help us? Like, we are done with ECA, 2 or more degrees, family of 2, both done with all documentation, IELTS primary applicant, CLB 8, secondary CLB 6. Well, Mohammed, I can tell you that what we help people with is not magically making you more eligible. Okay. Your situation is what it is. Your human capital is what it is. We can't just artificially increase that. But what we do is we help our clients to make sure they don't screw something up. We make sure that they are presenting their information in a way that an officer gets, understands, and is able to accept and approve. We focus on reducing that officer's discretion, that refusal discretion, down to virtually nothing, because we've given them exactly what they want in the way that they want it, and we're not missing anything. That's what we do. What do we sell? We sell peace of mind. All right. Book a consult. It all starts from there, Mohammed, and you'll see from that consult what the real difference is. Okay. Nirmal says, hey, where can I attach the certificate of qualification after ITA? Do you know what? You can upload it wherever you want. Sometimes I will upload it in the education if there's a spot. In fact, I even put my ECAs and my language tests. I upload them all with the education, even though they're not specifically asked. There's a long history behind that. I had a client who was asked to provide it after the fact, her IELTS report, and then she thought she did it right, but didn't, and her application got refused. And so I said, well, to heck with that. We're going to include everything up front. So that's how I deal with that one. Okay. All right. So let's see right here. I'm going to pull this one up here, and I know we've talked about this before. Okay, so here is the question, and this one, Nutty, you've brought this up before. I'll answer one more time, and this is where you go. So right here, travel to Canada requirements. I'm really excited because on April, I don't need to get a test to come in, but the vaccinations are an issue. And your question here is, what about Sputnik V vaccinated? Is there any update to enter in Canada? So you will go here and then you can scroll down and you can see right here, pre-entry tests. Okay. So when you click on these, it says the parameters, and you can see starting April 1st, pre-entry tests are no longer required. But you need proof of a valid, that proof of valid pre-entry test disappears. So let's just go down here and what accepted tests, types of tests. So molecular tests. So you can see PCR, nucleic acid reverse. And then we go to here, then you can see it has all these other descriptions for what it is, antigen tests. And this goes into detail about all the tests which are going to wash away. But what you're asking about is the vaccinations. And so let me just see here if I can find this. I want to make sure I don't jump past it right here. Okay, so you can see here's the list. And if it's not on the list, then it's just, it hasn't been accepted as a test that Canada recognizes. So as you go through here, and if I search Sput, there's nothing there. So it's unfortunately not on the list, Nutty Raspberry. Okay. All right. You're very welcome, Muteen. And I think it's time for us to turn on some sound effects here as we wrap this bad boy up. Okay, let's, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And last but not least, if you have any questions and you didn't get a chance to get your answers, go to our firm website. I'll go back here. This is it right here. Click on Speak to a Lawyer, and you can set up a consultation to get all of your questions answered. And the thing that breaks my heart the most, okay, and I know that you guys are DIYers at heart, but the thing that breaks my heart the most is when people come to me and they've gotten work permits refused. Just had one yesterday. And the options for fixing it are so limited. In fact, in the case of this person, I couldn't fix it. And usually people think to contact Mark or Alicia or Chanel, Healthy Immigration Law, when things are going south, when they have no other choice, no other options. And my goodness, I would just beg you guys, please, if you have any doubts, at the earliest stage possible, reach out to us. There was a time when I could fix everything. Those days are long gone. Now, if you've gone so far down a path, there's no backing it up. And sometimes, you know, in many cases we can fix things, absolutely. But there are times sometimes when I can't help someone. And I would hate for that to be you. So if you have any doubts and you need assistance, don't hesitate. And even if you think you're on the right track, we provide support in the ways that you need it most. And it's very flexible. So thank you everybody for tuning in. And when that new course gets launched, the one that I was telling you guys about for the Canada-Ukraine, and I'll flip over here, you watch on the playlists, share it with the world. But even right here, the link is here. People can get access to the course. It's entirely free, but we're going to toss it up on YouTube so that people have the ability to very easily share it with as many people as possible who are interested in being able to actually come and utilize that emergency travel program to seek safe haven in Canada. Okay. All right. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll keep you posted about the live stream with Alicia tomorrow. Okay. See you later.